right, let's get this thing going. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be on the spectrum. Morning for me here. Hopefully I have had enough time to get the frog out my throat, because I know a couple times I've come to y'all with the real deep Tony Braxton. Well, I don't sound that good, but y'all know how it is. Anyway, hope everybody is well. Let us get into what we came here for. All right. So listen, the market has been choppy, and I mean the chop, super chop. And so what are we waiting for? We are most likely waiting on data. So of course, let us look and see what we have for next week. On Tuesday, there you go. We got CPI, and the CPI is going to be early. So I think that the market has honestly been waiting for this, and this will give us our push, maybe our next leg up, so that we can, finally take out this 467 high. But it's most likely waiting on that. Okay, so we have CPI Tuesday. That should give us our first push. And then we have PPI on Wednesday. Okay, not only do we have PPI on Wednesday, but we also have FOMC Wednesday afternoon. All right, and then the press conference and Powell is going to talk. So that should give us some type of volatility in the market to actually give us a move to stop doing this choppy mess. Now, granted, also remember what I was telling y'all last week is that we could have been chopping to let the EMAs catch up so that we can base for our next move. That's kind of also what we've been doing. So this data next week may give us that move that we're looking for. All right. Nope, there goes the first yawn. Anyway, Thursday we have our normal stuff, jobless claims. Nothing really too extra exciting about that. And then on Friday I don't think there's anything. Empire State Manufacturing Index. I mean, it's menu. Oh, there we go. PMI flash. So next week is super heavy on the data. So we will be aware of that and make sure we remember that. All right, so let's get into our stuff. Starting with the VIX. Now remember, we got a new thing here going where I have this 4-panel. Instead of flicking through each one, we're just going to be able to look at them all just kind of, at the same time. All right, so you got your month here, your 2-week. Excuse me, there we go again. Which, don't forget, we are in the middle of a 2-week. And then your weekly and your daily. All right, so one thing I did want to point out, or I may change this actually, because since we aren't starting a new 2-week, I can either change this to the 7-week. Yeah, let's do that. We got a new 7-week starting. All right, on Monday. So why does this say that? This says Friday, December 1st. Oh, that's interesting. That must be because it's VIX. No, that says Friday, December 1st. Oh, that's interesting. Y'all, this is weird because ain't no way. Hold on. Friday, December 1st? Wait a minute. Y'all messing with me because it ain't no way. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. See, that's what I'm looking for. Looking down at the bottom of your screen. Monday, December 11th. Now, maybe it's something different on the indices. Nope. I don't know what that thing was showing me. Y'all see this, so y'all see I'm not going crazy when I was just looking at it and it was telling me December 1st. December 11th is the new 7-week. So, not sure why it's acting like that. Oh, now it better be because I have my glasses on. Y'all got me messed up. Or I was looking down here. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Alrighty. Y'all just went through that moment with me. We're going to call those Lala moments. And we're going to just keep right on moving. Anyway, all that to say, a new 7-week bar is starting. So we will also really quickly look at some 7-week setups to see if there are anything. Here you can see with the VIX for the 7-week, you're looking to see if the bears are going to continue to push that down. All right, we're at like a consolidation area. We're at a solid area of support. We broke this level right here and came to this next level, which is basically the month open, and we have sat here for a few weeks now. Okay, we can still go lower. I keep saying that. All right, 1179 is another base level. 1121 is another base level. Looks like sell side here is about 1039. All right, so we can still go lower. I think that this area right here, this 1150, is going to be a really strong support. And maybe that's where that will coincide with SPY hitting that 467, and we might see some retracement there. But what you see here on the weekly is a head and shoulders. We're in the shoulder area and it's breaking down. You also see we do find some support here, but we're under our 200 and everything about this looks bearish. There's no kind of reversal sign here. All right. Gold. We talked about gold last week because gold was on a tear. Take this off. Gold was on a tear, and it's really interesting because here we were last week saying, okay, well, we're going to take these people out. It immediately, it opened and reversed the same day. Okay, look at this on the daily. Monday, it went and hit that target and immediately reversed, and you could have been short the rest of the week. I know I was. Okay. What you have here now on the daily is a head and shoulders. You got your weekly 3 reversal. So you want to see if the bears are going to continue to push this down. Are we going to do a 3-2 down? If so, that is going to give us an outside month. We are close to the outside month. 1991 will be that trigger. So if it does push to the outside month, that would be some corrective activity that I would expect before we do another leg up. But I believe I was mentioning that before. Oh, that's the 7 week. Sorry. You do also have here on the 7 week a possible 3-2 up, 2 down reversal. All right, which will put us at these 1813, which interestingly enough would be like us taking up this top of this broadening formation and coming down to the bottom. Okay, because this is the 1813. It would be taking these people out. That's only if gold wants to continue or wants to continue the correction, the corrective activity. Again, you do have like a mini head and shoulders here, but last time it did hit this 20, it bounced from there. So I want to see what it does from here. Again, it can still come down or it can go back up, but we'll have to see what it does in the future from here. The dollar has this here. The dollar has been, oh, that's why it's there. Oops, go back. Because apparently we fibbed this a while back. And we see that it hit our 61.8 and has reversed. All right, so we had a strong move. We were looking for it to give up half of this. It gave up half. It gave up 61% of it. And then now it's reversed. So it's in an interesting place. Will it keep going from here or what? I'm going to go ahead and remove that for now. But also look here on the 200. We're under the 200. On the daily, sorry. We are under the 200, but we just printed an inverted head and shoulders on it. All right. So breaking above this 104.226, 104.26 could send this back up. All right. Because we've had our corrective activity halfway in the middle of the broadening formation, corrected until the month open. And so you want to see if it's going to trade back up here and maybe try to flip this quarter back green. We don't have a whole lot of time for that, Because you know, end of the quarter is the end of the month. But yeah, that's what dollar is looking like. The NASDAQ. All right, so on the month, we are inside month so far. On the week, though, you have, this isn't a hammer, but you had a nice TTO and a recovery. All right, so you're looking to see if this is going to do a 3-2 down to up reversal, back up to the 16,305 possible target, which is, oh no, it's not quite. So the buy side here is 16,743. So it's plenty of space for that. But basically, the top of the broadening formation is going to be that 16,320 ish. Okay, we're sitting there. We're trying to get there. Here, if you look on the daily, you have an inverted head and shoulders. All right, break out of that 16,100 ish would break out of that, and it would fail if the month turned back red. So right around that area, 15,921, where your month open, if it fails there, it could come back down. Now, as much as this also looks like, you see, this is the shoulder. This would be your head. This would be your shoulder area. We talk about that a lot, right? You do also have a mini shoulder, head, shoulder. It cannot cross above 16,123. So 16,123 will be the top of that shoulder. If it rejects from there and goes back down, we might have a head and shoulders here, where we may actually go for this gap. We thought we was going for this gap here. Bulls stepped in. Okay, and this was actually Monday. So funny, because Monday we were looking at it saying, all right, when we come down here, are we going to go for this gap? No, bulls stepped back in. Just like I said last week, the bears are sleeping, because we do get some corrective activity, but it's really just a buying the dip. You got people taking profits and maybe re-entering at a better price just to go back up. All right, so be careful, be aware of that. Again, we are looking for higher prices, but you're always aware of where it can correct to. All right, so NASDAQ looking bullish again on the 7-week. If it does a 3-2 up and the bulls continue, that's what you will be looking for. All right, the Dow. Looking at you on the monthly, you have just, it's really a continuation. This wasn't an actionable signal here. Same thing on the week, is a continuation. It's busting through this broadening formation that I have here. And interestingly enough, on this 7-week, it's kind of like the NASDAQ, where you have this outside. So you're looking to see if they 3-2 up and continue that up. 369.52 would be your target there. But if you look here, you have a bull flag. I could fix this a little bit. Oh, hello. Maybe not, because it's way back there. Let's do that. I sometimes like to leave it because I like for it to show what it was doing, which is that right here. It's pushing against this broadening formation, and it can't quite push through, but it's flagging. So if anything, you may look for something like, right now you have a rev strat on the day. It could rev strat on Monday. Take these folks out. It's 360.75. Touch this 8 and then go right back on up and continue. All right, so again, we are flagging here on the daily. Look how far away we are from the 200, so we know we are well still in our buy the dip mode. Although it's been creeping, although this has been sort of choppy, it's chopping and basing and bull flagging. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for, is for it to break out of this range and move to the upside. Dow looks like a lot like everything else. This is another one where we fibbed this down move, and we were looking to see if it would reject at the 50% level or the 61% level, and it didn't. So because of that, we are left to assume that based on price action that it will continue back up to this 198.75. So that's going to be our target, is for it to give all of this back. It died, and then now we're looking for it to make it back up. Y'all remember that the 181 area has always been like a really strong area for it. And as you can see here, we've just kind of pushed through back, push down, and then we push back up. So we're above that area now. We did our 2 up on the month. Another thing I want to point out with IWM is sitting at the outside quarter. So if it does want to continue and has a good rest of the month, it may make it to that 198.75. All right, that's what we're looking for, is to finish all of this. You got an outside quarter possible here. Okay, so now with the 7-week, if you see here, take that off. It's not a hammer, but it's almost did an outside, so you would look for it to finish and then continue on to the upside. Okay, you don't have an actionable signal here on the weekly, so you would just have to find it here. If you notice what it's done, look at the 3 patterns here, y'all. You got an inverted head and shoulders, then you got a flag, and then there's another flag, or as Shay would call it, our market maker buy model. Okay, because you got your consolidation, your push, your consolidation TTO, your push, your consolidation, your push, your consolidation, ready for the next push. Okay, so that push may push us to that 198.75. All right, 191 is going to be your first target, but yes, we are basing here in anticipation for the next move, and it's not looking like it's going to move down. You know, we're not getting our strong bearish signals. I want to keep reminding y'all of that. If we short, we only short for maybe the day. As you can see, this swinging a short wouldn't even be smart, because you know you would have ended here and then it was a small gap up, but again, like, you would have lost that profit trying to stay short. Okay, so if you're going to do any corrective activity, puts, play short, but do not hold that, because we are definitely in an uptrending market. All right, looking at the QQs, looks just like NASDAQ. You got your 3 on this 7-week. We're at the top of this broadening formation, so looking to see if the bulls are going to continue. Right now, we're still inside month, but this is a hammer. On the week, you have not quite a hammer, but again, it almost finished the outside, so we're looking to see it continue 3-2 down to up reversal to this 394.20, and then seeing if it can take out the 407. That's going to be our final target for this leg. Okay, you see on the week, you have a base here. This is a bull flag with a nice TTO here. Same thing here. All right, you got your inverted head and shoulders. We didn't even shoulder much over here before we just boomed. You kind of have another inverted head and shoulders. All right, and then again, you have a head and shoulders. So if it gets rejected at 393.22, you know that head and shoulders will still be active. But what we're seeing here is more bull flaggish. And again, you want to make sure, if you do any corrective activity, take your money that day. Let's look here on Monday. You had a nice red day, and then you gapped up Tuesday. So if you had actually, oh, sorry, this is when I'm looking all the way down here, y'all. I shouldn't be. Yeah. Oh, this is Wednesday. Then it gapped up Thursday, so you would have lost all of those profits. So just remember that and be careful. All right. Looking at SPY Bay, looks just like Q's. All right. Again, fix that. Be aware of the PMGs, okay, but also be aware of the fact that we're not having any strong reversal signals, so we are still in buy the dip mode. So we're just aware of them, but we know right now we are bullish. All right, we have taken out last month's high, so we still do have room to go. I am still looking for 467 was my first target. I'm trying to figure out where I saw that, y'all, because I had that. I think it was here. Maybe it was a 2-week target. Yo, I had 467 somewhere, and I'm not sure actually why I had 467. Let me look on the daily. There's something I'm missing. This is 462, or maybe I thought it was 467 and I really meant 462. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's 462, not 467. 467 is not giving me anything. Like, I'm not saying that anywhere for me to have that as a level. Just in case, though, y'all, for some reason, I can't find it now, just remember 467. But based on what we see here, 462 is our first major target. We are looking for it to hit this 462 and see what it does from here. Then 473 and the 480 is what we're going to look for. CPI may do that. Okay, because we're actually already really close enough for us to hit the 462. I feel like we do need corrective activity, but if you think about what the charts are showing us, it's not saying the same thing. It's saying we are gone. Okay, we're gone. Bull flag again. So you're bull flagging. You have a couple of red days, but then look at this again on Wednesday. It gapped up the next day. All right, but ultimately this is all chop. All chop. We finally took out this high right here, but we are still in a chopping block. That's gonna be the title of this video. Chop, chop, chop. All right, so hopefully all this chop and this basing right here, it's one of the longest basing areas I've seen since I started trading, should lead to a big breakout, and then we should see it go on up here. All right, so we said, I did say the 462, right? And then we said 467, I believe, was our next one. 473, which would really be about the top of this broad information. All right, so that's what we're looking for with SPY Bay. Apple. Gotta show you this. Still looking for this outside quarter. Okay, 198.23. We are almost there. Basically, it's literally almost there. And then if it wants to continue to go, we're still looking for 200. 200, I think, is going to be like the strongest. It's going to be a strong resistance because, I mean, here, 190, we were $2 off of it. So if anything, I would see it trying to make it to that 200 and then rejecting from there, which, you know, we might see that the rest of the markets if Apple does reject. Okay. 3-2 on the weekly here. If it is to do anything, you see this is kind of showing what we were seeing with SPY. You see the up, the base. There was a TTL here, and then that's what sent it to the moon. Okay, so hopefully maybe we'll see something like that on Monday. On Monday we'll see that TTO, and then Tuesday CPI will send us past the range that we were in on SPY. Okay, Microsoft, kind of the same thing. Microsoft had its TTO. Now Microsoft here on the daily, well, first of all, before we even get to that, we are inside month. Okay, on the weekly we do have a hammer almost here. Okay, so you got a Randy Jackson, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up possible. Microsoft sends us, if Microsoft goes, then Apple goes, then that will send us. Okay, this was supposed to be on 7-week. No actionable signal there. Here you do have a head and shoulders where it could go up to probably about 380. If it breaks past there, it's going to invalidate this structure here. And this also could be the start of an inverted head if it makes a shoulder area and then moves to the upside. 386 is what I will be looking for with that target. All right. Looking at our sectors, I have some of these on the list, on the future list that I will show you, but basically you can see here, no actionable signal on XLY for the most part. In the weekly, you will see this inverted head and shoulders, and it's just been going. There is a possible PMG if it ever wants to make that move, but it looks a lot like SPY in the Qs. XLK technology has been doing a thing. XLK, if I'm not mistaken, it made a new all-time high. All right, hit the top of this broadening formation. So Curious to see what this does from here. If you see on the weekly, you see that it did a TTO and came back up. It can still continue to go up. This is when I would suggest that you use your fib extensions to see where it could go. You do have an inverted head and shoulders here. And looks like it's still going. So, yep, that's XLK. XLF financials. We were on that because it was finally moving. You got a nice possible PMG here. Again, if it does fall, it's still in a range if you look here on the 7-week, but a 3-2 up could take us out of this huge range that it's been in for months and actually send this up. I know Morgan Stanley has been stuck in the 80s for like forever, so maybe this could finally give it a push that it needs. All right, so 7-week here on the XLC, possible 3-2 up. Plenty of room over here for that to go. Inverted head and shoulders here on the monthly. On the weekly, you didn't quite finish this outside bar, so want to finish it afterwards. And you have somewhat of like a cup and handle here on the daily. So XLC is looking good. All of these things are really looking super bullish. XLE is funny though, because we were talking about XLE last week, and one thing I wanted to mention was that it was still, or what I did mention was that it's still inside year. So it's going to be our top watch for next year. Now, it had a red week, okay? But even with that red week, oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Even with that red week, it still found support at this uptrending line. Okay, so it's, I'm really still watching it to see what it's going to do. I am in no favor of it to break either way. All right, whichever way it goes, I'm good for that. But it's really interesting to see how this setups. We had this sideways action, and then last week it finally broke down. So now that it broke down, it actually hit. That's on the 12 month. Now that it broke down and hit the bottom of this, I am looking to see if it's going to reverse from here. Okay. Remember, we would need a strong reversal. This is what I want y'all to look for on all of the charts before you say, oh, it's reversing. So it would need to break back above this and then come back up here towards this 200 for me to say it's reversing. Otherwise, this could have been the consolidation around the 200 before it actually dies, and it could trigger the year down. So either way, we're watching it to see what it does. We won't act until we do see what it does. Utilities has a nice bull flag here on the day. You see how it's just sort of riding these EMAs up and wicking from it. So the bulls are definitely supporting it. No actionable signal here on the weekly or the monthly. On the 7-week, you do have an inside week, so it may break up and hit this downtrend. Why is this downtrend here? It's really interesting. I feel like it should be more like this. So yeah, it could definitely still move to the upside, but remember, we're under the 200 and we have come up to test it. So this will be a do or die moment. It's could turn the tide from sell the rip to buy the dip. All right, XLI 7-week, you got that 3 here. You got an inverted head and shoulders on this 7 week, so I'm definitely looking forward to 3-2 up. All right, the monthly is not an actionable signal, but it's in force. No actionable signal here on the weekly, and we are flagging on the daily. All right, there is a shooter here, but again, it's flagging. So that's XLI, XLV. Healthcare, you got a nice hammer here on the 7-week. All right, so if it's trying to break out of this range and it can break up, that would be awesome. You have what happened here on the daily is we broke above the 200 and we're flagging now. All right, so again with the flag on the weekly, you see this inverted head and shoulders. All right, and the monthly, we did the 2-1-2 up. Now it hit that target, but it could still have more room. So watch your favorite healthcare stock. Consumer staples, XLP. Now here you have a possible outside month setup. The trigger for that is going to be 69.05. Okay, so you have a shooter here on the week. That 2 up, 2 down could come down to trigger the outside month. All right, so 69 ish is going to be your trigger for that. If it keeps going, then you can figure you can have it finish this outside month. And I believe 2, 3, yep, you have a PMG here. So if it wants to really die, it could definitely do that. You do have a head and shoulders here. We're under the 200. So this would be possibly a decent short if it's going to continue XLP. All right. XLRE, real estate, no actionable signal here. On the week, you do have, no, this is not really even a star. It's not really actionable signal there. So there is nothing to say, okay, well, we can push this to this. What you have here is a possible head, but this is also a possible cup and handle. So you would have to see how it acts around this area where it's been chopping before to say which way you would like to play that. XLB is materials. No actionable signal here. You do have an inside week. So if it decided to 212 down, it could possibly trigger your outside month if it wanted to continue to go down. However, we're above our 200, so I wouldn't necessarily look at that. Okay, you do have a head and shoulders here though. So if it stays under this month open, all right, and next week we do a 212 down, your time frame continuity will be red, and you should have more confidence to play this for the outside month. All right, XOP, oil and gas. Your time frame continuity is red here. So basically, you know, is giving us all red. We did the same thing here with XLE where we chopped around the 200 and then we fell. If you want to call that a market make a sell model, you know, there's your chop and then it fell. So are we going to chop here and fall again, or chop here and reverse from here? There's no actionable signal here. So you kind of just have to see what XOP is going to do first. XRT, no actionable signal in the month or the 7-week or the weekly. Just don't touch retail right now. I told you a while ago to watch it because of Black Friday and Christmas and all of that, but there's no actionable signal here to take action. So just notice though, again, you got a flag or cup and handle, however you want to call that, to look like it still does have more upside if it wants to continue. I heard Black Friday sales were not that great. Christmas sales may be the same thing, but still we are watching that. Jets is another one. The airlines we were watching, we just came up to hit the 50%. We had fibbed this downward move to see what we were going to do. Remember before we were looking to see, we said 50 or 61% is where it can reject. So now this is the next level we're looking for, this 1952, to see if it's going to make it up there, if it's going to reject or come back down. All right, the 1952 is also your monthly target here. So yeah, just looking to see what happens here. It has reclaimed our 200. However, we're far away from the EMA, so it may do a 212 down just to retest this 200 before it continues back up. Lithium, not much going on there except this 7-week candle is a morning star, possibly. All right, morning stars do not have to be green or red. It's just found at the bottom of a downtrend. Okay, so looking to see if it wants to have some corrective activity. It would need to break above 51.43, and then the top of that downtrend would be 60. So that may be a decent move. You see that it has consolidated for a few weeks down here, printed a hammer on the weekly. We had a TTO and a reversal, so a 3-2 up could get that going. Okay, so watch lit to see if it has the corrective activity and wants to move some more to the upside. Your semiconductors have been doing wonderful. On the 7-week, a 3-2 up contended. You will see that I did not get to NVIDIA, but you will see that NVIDIA has a nice hammer. So this, which is possibly a cup and handle, could have been the corrective activity that was needed before it pushes more to the upside. On the weekly, you have this, it didn't finish the outside, so looking to see if it will continue and finish. IYT is transportation. Reclaimed our 200 a while ago. Have been basing right now. Printed a shooter on the day, but there's no actionable signal here, except on the 7-week, we're looking to see if we're going to do a 3-2 up. All right, transportation is still a thing right now because we're still we will be dealing with Christmas and all of that. All right, so your 50% monthly list, all for that. You got new that has not triggered yet, but looking for it. Enforce, the only one that I have is FSLR that's already enforced. And then you have this list right here. Oh, this is a lot, y'all, so I'm going to try to be slow. This is your list of outside quarters. Things that are in force for the outside quarter. Okay? And these are the sectors that are doing that. Your 7-week. This is your 7-week list. Again, I'm not going to go through that. Y'all can either screenshot or go look at these yourself. But these are the list of 7 weeks that have possible setups. And remember, again, when you're doing 7 weeks, you're going to want to play a minimum of 2 to 3 months out. Months, because 7 weeks is almost 2 months. So give yourself time for these to play out. Also, remember to watch these things, because they may take a week or two to even set up before it actually makes the play. So something you want to watch. All right, so we did that and that. I think that's all that's left is our weekly list. Yep. So we got inside. Here are our inside weeks. The TTD is the top of my list because y'all know I love these somewhat tight hammers. So looking to see if this is going to break out. Also, this inverted head and shoulders. However, this is kind of flagging, bear flagging. So looking to see what it does. Tesla. Last week we were looking for it to do the STRAT, and it didn't. It found support. It's still at that downtrend line. However, the 212 up could trigger that monthly up. Okay, so that's why we're watching Tesla. Snow. Inside. However, again, this is a continuation, so I don't necessarily like it as much, but it would break itself out of this range. So we're looking to see if it rejects this weekly resistance or if it continues to go to the upside. CRM has a nice inside week, so looking to see which way it wants to continue. ZS, same thing, inside week. Meta has a reversal, so looking to see, it did not finish the outside week, so 339, looking to see for it to go there. Nvidia, like we were talking about, semiconductors. All right, you have, well, this isn't a PMG, but it recovered, and so looking to see if it's going to finish this outside week next week. All right, again with your semis, INTC, it's a red hammer, still a hammer nonetheless. Same thing with MU. It's a red hammer, but it's a hammer nonetheless. So we will pay attention to it. Kroger has a gravestone doji here, which is not quite an evening star, but that's about the only play that I saw that had a potential for the red, except for the sectors that I showed y'all. All right, so that is it for today. Hopefully y'all see my face next week. Wasn't doing it this morning. But y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see y'all next time.